The battle was still raging with the White Fang and Adam Taurus subdued. Only one threat remained: the Lord of the Grimm. The evacuation was almost complete, and the students and huntsmen was exhausted, but Team DMC continued to fight the odds. The Atlasian Knights were almost wiped out. Only a few battalions remained. When they were still recovering and preparing for another assault, more help came in the form of Hera. What are those? Run. They're not the usual Grimm, a new species. Son. Whatever they are, shoot. Then Shadow charges past them, causing confusion as he rips apart Beowulf and Ursa with ease. Then a flying chicken came by to offer some advice. Griffin. Hey hotshot, we are friendly, so watch where you shoot. A huge megalith wanted to stampede the teams, but was stopped by a meteor that smashes into it, killing it instantly. Then a puddle of Grimm miasma came from the crash site and formed into Nightmare as it fights with another megalith. Dove. Man, it looks like a kaiju fight. Neptune was recording it. Griffin, hey, no time for pictures. Get a move on, you zoomers. Then New Grimm came to match them as an onslaught came head-to-head with Nightmare. The battle was intense as the Beacon student got a second wind and fought back. Transmission. Ironwood. Beacon students, the civilians are safe. Fall back so we can regroup and counterattack. Glinda. James, we have an advantage, and we're pushing it. If we flee now, we risk a war of attrition. As she sends a wave of energy wiping out a herd of Grimm. Then the unthinkable happened. More help arrived, and it was as Salem herself joined the fray and released a ton of elemental magic, causing more Grimm casualties. Ashbin also stood by her side. Ashbin. Never thought I'd be fighting side by side with my mortal enemy. Salem. How about fighting side by side with your ex-wife? Ashbin. Nah. As he charges a pack of Ursa. Crow. Never thought I would see the day. Nightmare finally beat the new onslaught Grimm as it lays down weakened. Then a voice rang out and footsteps can be heard. I curse my stars in bitter grief, and woe, that made my love so high and me so low. Little wanderer, hie thee home. He then stabs the onslaught straight in its eye. Nero. Glad to see you're here. V, what took you so long? V, I was catching up with my reading. Blake notices the book but didn't speak out. Dante. Well, now that this is settled. He aimed ivory and Nero aimed blue rose at Salem. Dante. What the hell is she doing here? Ashbin. Have you heard the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Nero. You do know that goes both ways, old man. Salem. Either way, I no longer have any power here. I am using what remains of it as of now. By the end of this battle, I will be as powerless as any mortal. Nero. That's not good enough. You're the reason this is happening in the first place. Meanwhile, atop Beacon. Nello. Fighting amongst themselves. How very predictable. He just sat on his ivory tower looking down at all the mongrels. Back to. Dante had a tick mark on his head as he looks to Beacon. Dante, it looks like we only have one more problem left. Let's go kick that douchebag. Weiss, we need to rest. Nero, then rest on your hands, we got this. V, I'm in. Nero, alright, pick up the pace, or well, leave your dangly ass behind. V, that will not be a problem. As he gathered miasma on his feet as he glides through the road. Hera, you know they're gonna need someone to clear up the road after. Lady, that's our job, cover their backs. Ruby, I hope they're gonna be okay. Ren, focus on resting while catch up. Moments later, Dante was riding through town with Calavera Cycle, while Nero was hitching a ride. V was in close pursuit. Then they reached the once proud academy only to see it transform into a den of darkness. Dante, looks like we got some spring cleaning to do. Nero, let's send the headmaster our bill. V, be vigilant, Vergil will not let this be any easy for us. Then something crashed beside them as it was. Sparta, I will have words with my son. Dante, last one to the top is a rotten egg. He leaps forward and crashes headlong to danger. Sparta, what is wrong with him? Nero, you tell me, Dad. How is Mother holding up? Sparta, she's with the evacuation tending to the civilians. Nero, I mean, how is she handling? Sparta, she will be fine. She is a strong woman. Nero, I hope so. Then they all jumps in the mess. After a few hours, The Beacon teams gathered their strength and pushed back the tide towards Beacon. When they arrived, they saw the carnage of dead Grimm as they look up to see fighting in the tower, resulting in pieces of the tower breaking off. The one thing that caught their eye was the fighting that has taken place on the roof as they saw something or someone get blown off it. Meanwhile, Beacon rooftop. Sparta saw that Dante got blown away as he looks to his fallen son. Nello, welcome to the present remnant. Before there was thought there was this place. One world with a single history. With the coming of man came the illusion of free will. With that illusion came chaos. With every choice we make, we destroy this world. Humans? Faunus? Grimm? At least the Grimm don't tear each other apart for a scrap of land or condemn someone over a title. Sparta, where are you getting at? Nello, this present seems so different from the past we knew. What series of decisions that led to this world reaching the brink of destruction? But I do know this, the source of the cataclysm is always the same. Man. Sparta, you can't be sure of that. Anything. Nello, you know better. Man is a cancer and I've chosen to cut out the disease. Sparta, you're talking about killing. Nello, everyone who ever lived. Whoever will live. I've made the only sensible choice. Sparta, you've gone mad. Nello, does it really matter? Sparta, it does to me. He jumped and engaged Nello in an insane exchange of strength as sparks flew from each strike. Father and son, fighting for the fate of the world. Sparta, do you believe in destiny? Nello, I do, and I seek an answer. Who will it choose to rule this world? Sparta then transforms into his Grimm trigger, which it didn't impress Nello at the least. He then draws power from his surprised Sin Grimm trigger, pushing Sparta back. Sparta, what? Nello then savagely laid his assault on his predecessor as Sparta struggled. With every hit his strikes become sharper, with every block his defense grows ever so unbreakable. It was then Nello decided to finish it, as he gathered a massive amount of energy in his blade and reared it back. Nello, fate has not chosen you for my answer. He then swung and a huge torrent of energy blasts him away like he did Dante as he broke rebellion in their clash. He then looks down from the tower and returns to his seat. The Grimm Wyvern then stood and leaves the tower, knowing its master no longer needs him, and returns to the Grimm lands. Later, Beacon Grounds. Team RWBY, PNR, CFY, Scene and CRDL made their way through to the courtyard only to find Dante skewered on the statue's blade. Russell, what the fuck? Blake, it's Dante. Ruby, but where's Nero? Weiss, and that V guy. Yatsuhashi, there he is. As he is seen dragging a beaten Sparta with his sword in hand. Young, what happened? Sparta, we lost. Summer, this can't be the end. V, Nero is up there, he should buy us some time. Then they heard a grunt and saw Dante waking up. Dante, what the hell? As he sees a stone blade through his chest. He then Vasilis pulls himself out of it. Everyone looks shocked at the scene as they saw his wound closes up fast. Son, man, that looked like it hurt. Dante, what? That's just another Monday for me. Neptune, tell me you're joking. Lady then rushes and hugs Dante after that she broke the hug and bonus him on the head. Dante, what's the deal, woman? Lady, don't make us worry like that, you airhead. Kira, if you two lost, then how are we supposed to beat this Grimm Lord? Glinda, more information would be good. The Sparta family turns to V as everyone noticed and looks at him as well. V, well, let me tell you. Everyone stares at him. V, of the story of my birth.